Hey, so as you can see, today we're gonna be working on this Milwaukee 12-volt drill. We got it off of Facebook for 20 euros in total, and the first thing we did was sell some of the others that were included. So right now we're left with this Milwaukee drill that we don't know if it's functioning or not. So as you could see, the model is C12D and it's in a pretty good condition. It is not functioning, but it looks pretty good and it's fairly clean. So the first thing we're gonna do is test the battery voltage. As you can see, the battery tests for 0.073 volts, which is definitely not close to its rating. So it's definitely important to notice the third pin in the Milwaukee battery compartment. Now we're going to try and run the drill from a bench power supply, but as you can see, while the drill does come to life, it's definitely not spinning. I suspect it's possible that it's due to the battery communicating with the device. So the first thing we're gonna do is try and fix the battery. So what I did was attach two wires to the two terminals of the battery and hope that it would charge using the bench power supply. Again, if you're gonna do this, it is important to limit the current. Knowing that there are 3 cells inside, we can see that all cells are taking voltage. And to my surprise, as you can see after plugging the battery in, the drill spins to life. So in this case, the issue was simply the battery being so dead the charger couldn't charge it. The next thing we're gonna do is take a look inside and look at some of the most common issues you can find. To get in, we need to remove all the T10 screws as well as the pull tab that is next to the battery compartment. I have encountered this trip screw and I removed it using a rotary tool. Now you can pull the cover off. To pull it out of the case, we need to disconnect the battery indicator lights. Now that we have everything out, we can look for some of the most common faults. The first thing you could do is test the motor with any 12-volt power supply. Now it's time to pull out the multimeter. The first thing to test in this case would be the power MOSFET attached to the heatsink. The second thing you can test using a multimeter is the variable speed control. The simplest way you could check whether it's working or not is by checking if there is continuity once you press it. Lastly, it is always good to do a visual inspection to see if you can see any blown components. To put it back together, you just have to follow the steps in reverse. Try and put everything exactly as it was before you pulled it out, as the wires tend to be quite short. After putting all the screws back in, including a new screw in the place of this stripped one, I've taken some pictures and put it on Facebook to sell it as well. In the end, I sold it for 40 euros. So in total, we have bought the whole set for 20. We have sold the whole lot for 20 as well. And then we have sold the Milwaukee for 40. This results in a profit of 40 euros and our new total to be 60. If you liked this video, take a look at some of the other ones, as soon we're gonna be fixing other electronics such as game consoles, phones and others.